Hello YouTube land, it's Debbie from the Canadian Crocheter. It's been over a week since I posted. I went on my trip and I came back, and let me tell you, I'm exhausted. That was a long haul. It was 14.5-hour drive there, and well, it was 15 hours wait on the way back because my co-pilot wanted to go to the casino, so we spent a half an hour on one of the casinos on our way. Didn't win anything, but yeah, it was a long haul. We were tempted to break it up into 2 days, but that would just cut into my time with my daughter. I don't get to see her very often, so I wanted to spend as much time with her as as possible. So we pushed it. I drove both ways. Not that my friend didn't offer, but I guess I'm a bit of a control freak like that. It's a long haul. But we made it there and back, and in one piece, and everything's fine. All I can say is Canada is a very big, vast country. We went through a lot of uninhabited areas. Areas that don't have, civilization, or I don't know if you want to call it civilization, but don't have towns or anything for like hours on end. I'm like, what? Anyway, it was great. It was great. Got to see my daughter, and she got me a mug, new mug. I didn't think I was one of these moms, but I guess she has different memories. She says that, yes, I am one of these moms. I'm okay with that. Let's see, we might as well talk about my trip. While I was there, I sourced out the one and only local yarn shop there. And wouldn't you believe it? It is literally a 2-minute walk from my daughter's house. My daughter has a wonderful little older cottage style house in downtown Fredericton, and it's literally, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you, 2-minute walk. So I went one day and then I went back the next day. So the name of the store is Cricket Cove. Now when I travel, I like to visit local yarn shops and get something that's local to there. So in the first day I went, I ended up getting myself 2 skeins of this, and this is superwash merino and nylon. Trying to get the color to come on. Okay, so you kind of get an idea. So I got these, and the name of the colorway is Fredericton, and this is by Sweet Skein o' Mine. I guess she's a local dyer to Fredericton. So I got myself these 2, and then the next day we had some visitors. 2 very young visitors, and they wanted to go to the yarn shop, and they encouraged me and convinced me to buy 2 skeins for a future giveaway. The first one was picked by my lovely friend Kyler, and it's the superwash merino nylon, and it is St. Andrews, which is an area in Fredericton. Again, it's Sweet Skein o' Mine, but you get the colors. And this is a 7-year-old picking. And then the 9-year-old picked this one. And it is called Radioactive Roses. The 9-year-old, Gavin, picked this. So you can thank Gavin and Kyler for these 2, and there'll be future giveaways, probably very soon. Right now I have a giveaway, so the next one will be for that. And I'm not going to say her name because I don't know if she wants me to or not, but another lady that I met there, we actually got together to knit. I was going to pick her brain about knitting, but we ended up just like for hours, so I never got to do the knitting. But she made me and my friend Sandra some dishcloths. She knitted me, it's a gift from her. So these are slightly bigger than the ones that I've been making, so I have to figure out how to make them bigger. So thank you very much for that. And yeah, that's it. That's all I I did. I saw my daughter, had a great time, dropped Buster off. He seems to be settling in quite well. So it was a great trip. Fredericton's a very old town and it's beautiful. I loved it. So it's going to be another trip there. While I'm on the topic of acquisitions, I got, while I was away, I got some Happy Mail. Now, this was from, hold on one second. Okay, so this is from someone named Wendy Cone, but I don't have, there's no contact information on here. No, I have no way of contacting her. I mean, short of mailing or something. But she sent me some homemade or handmade earrings and stitch markers. And hold on a second. So she wished me a happy belated Mother's Day and a safe trip to my daughter. Okay, so the earrings are the sun and the moon. And I love the idea of having two different earrings. I mean, I never take these out. I sleep with these and everything. But except when I go out, like evenings or whatever. But I've never been like a symmetry kind of gal. I like things in 3s and 5s and 7s, like odd. And I love the idea of that. And as a matter of fact, when I was a teenager, I was heavily into earrings. I actually have 2 holes in one ear. And do you remember Janet Jackson with the big thing and the key? I had one. Anyway, so I don't use the second hole anymore. And the reason for just the one ear, my girlfriend and I wanted to get second ear holes, but you know, you're young teenagers, you have no money, and we split the cost. So she got 1 hole and I got 1 hole. Anyway, so back to this. So those are the earrings. I love that they're not symmetrical. They're not even. Beautiful, beautiful. And then the other ones are turtles. And this is close to my heart because at the end of our property, we have a pond. And right soon, actually, turtles, we have some big, huge turtles. If I get some footage this year, I'll show it to you guys. I actually have some footage from a couple years ago, some video. And the turtles, it's instinctual. They travel across my property to the end of my property where the road, or my property meets the road. There's a little, like a sand area, like only like 12 inches wide. And they have to lay their eggs there, either on my side or across the road to the neighbors. And so every year for a couple of weeks, I have to keep the dogs in all the time because the dogs go nuts. They see the turtles and they just bark, bark, bark. And the poor turtles they just kind of withdraw into their shell and can't go to lay their eggs. And then I'm not sure I should look it up, what the gestation period is for the eggs. And I've never seen a baby, but I'm assuming somewhere along the line, the babies hatch and then they make their way back to the pond. So yes, every year for a couple of weeks, we are inundated with, well, I shouldn't say inundated. We probably have like 5 or 6 turtles every year making their trek to, and then all the neighbors have to be cautious that day because if the turtle wants to cross, it's going to take a while. And so they have to be cautious of them. And it's not like you can miss them because they're decent size. So anyway, so the turtles are very close to my heart. Love that. And I'm going to stop babbling. And then there's some stitch markers. Oh my goodness. And they are, I'm assuming this is the Tree of Life. Okay, so actually these are earrings too, but I'm going to use them as stitch markers. So I believe these are the Tree of Life. Hold on. I'll just show you one. Oh, come on, camera. I'm so sorry. It just doesn't want to focus. Anyway, they're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And these I will be using as stitch markers. So again, thank you, Wendy. You know, if you could send me an email, that would be awesome. So we can chit chat over email. My email is crochet2018@rogers.com. So Wendy, if you can send me an email, that would be awesome. I do not have an email for you. And the second piece of happy mail is from Michelle, the Crafty Farm Girl. Michelle, you absolutely did not need to do this. She sent me a beautiful card as a thank you for shouting her out. And I'm like, there's no need for that. It's very well appreciated, but no need for it. I shout out people, I only shout out people that I enjoy. And I enjoy your channel. So if you don't know Crafty Farmgal, I'll leave the link down below too. And I love this. It's a pin, and it is South Dakota. I love locations. I love when people are proud of where they're from. I love the idea of collecting pins from around different places. I also have a thing for mugs. I think if you've watched any of my older videos, you know that I have a ton of mugs. And that's what usually people do, is when they travel, they bring me back a mug from wherever they've traveled. So I have mugs from all over the world. Love it. I love that idea. So anyway, this is awesome. This will definitely be going onto my bag. I thank you, Michelle. That was so, so, so nice. But not necessary. You're getting a shout out because I enjoy watching you. So those are my acquisitions. What have I made? Okay, let's talk about the first thing that I made, which is the Madeline Sweater by Life in Yarn. And so I was watching Summer from Summer's Tips and Stitches, and she made this, and it looked so good on her. I said I got to make it right away. Anyway, I did make it. Now, Summer made hers out of cotton. I made mine out of acrylic. And I'm not pleased with the end result. Now, I'm usually a size 8, a medium. And I thought I want it bigger. So I made the large, which is what? Size 10? I'm not sure. 10, 12. And I'll show you. This is what it turned out like. So now I finished this before I left, and then I washed it, and then I didn't dry it, I blocked it. I pinned it up, and I thought, oh, for the whole week that I'm gone, it'll pin and it'll be perfect. Because when I finished it, it was like this. It's like it's squeezing in on itself. So it was very tiny. So I came back, I blocked it to 1 inch of its life, and I'm still doing this. Now I have a feeling that it's the yarn. It seems to be bouncing back into itself. I don't know if it's the stitch or the yarn. Feels good. The pattern was very well written, and I thoroughly enjoyed making it. I did have one issue. And that is where, it's made into 2 panels, and then the sleeves, and then you sew the sleeves on. Now, she doesn't go into telling you how you should sew the sleeves. I'm pretty sure she said just use your favorite stitch. Well, I've only made a few sweaters, so I don't have a favorite stitch. I don't know what gives stretch and what doesn't. So it is tight in the seam, and there's no stretch whatsoever. Now, I think I'm gonna make it again, but probably in cotton. And I think I'm gonna crochet the sleeve to the body, because I think crochet would give it a little more stretch than sewing. But you can see it's like, I don't want it to be that obvious. And it is tight, it's very tight, and there's, you know, but yeah, aside from, you know, like I said, maybe it is the And I even added an extra repeat to the sleeve because I wanted it, you know, kind of like that, you know, to reach about halfway up my hand. But it just keeps wanting to, like it keeps, I wear it for a couple of minutes and then it just does this. And like, oh, and I'm constantly tugging at it. Like, so I'm thinking it's the yarn. If it is and I'm gonna make it again, but I'll make it in cotton, and I'll be back to show you when I'm done. I won't be making it anytime soon. But it is a fun pattern to make, it really is. So maybe it is the yarn. Okay, the other thing that I made before I left was I knitted another Ross hat. And I used Red Heart Super Saver stripes, neon stripes. Hold on a second. My dog wants to jump up. Come on. Go on. Jump up. Oh, you want to come up here? Come on. Oh, okay, he's coming behind me. So anyway, my son wanted a bright, bright, bright hat. So I knitted him a hat. And yeah, so I still like the Ross hat. I think I'm going to be making many more of these. The only thing I did not like about this yarn is, well, first of all, every once in a while there would be that, which really detracts from the stripes. Like, and I'm not, I guess I'm not that good at knitting. I don't notice these things as I'm knitting until I'm done, and I'm like, what is that? And then the other thing, and I guess this would be me. If you take a look here, do you see where the purling is? Okay, so you have the stripe on the knit, and then where the purling is, I don't know if it's me or if it's, so where the purling is, there's a little bit of like a jog where for the stripes, the colors. So I don't like that. So when he puts it on, you can see, I don't know. I don't like it. So I'm thinking maybe 1 by 1 rib. But he's very pleased with this hat. He loves it. Now it has to be washed because it is kind of on the coarse side. But he's quite happy with it. So it's way too big for me. So I'm very pleased with this pattern. You know, I'm glad I listened to Ross and decided to try his hat. And yeah, I was just watching one of his videos and he was talking about writing out another one for fingering weight. And I'm like, yes, please, because I have a lot of fingering weight that I would love to make hats out of. So I'm actually going to go back and listen again and write down the notes that he was talking about, and I'm going to try it in fingering. So made that. Thank you, Ross. Then, so I watched Laurel's little quasi tutorial. She calls it a quasi tutorial on how to make her little octopus. So I made these two, and these are using scraps. I have no idea how I ended up with only 7 tentacles, not paying attention. And then this one I even put little eyelashes. I'm not good with facial embroidery or surface embroidery, so I don't think I'm gonna put a mouth. Maybe one day. But I love these things. I think that they're, I'm just gonna put them out, and as people come in, they can take one. They're using up your scraps, and literally it's less than an hour. Even for me, who doesn't do this very often, they're less than an hour to make. And you gotta follow Laurel's tutorial. It's a quasi tutorial because she kind of talks in it, and she just shows you, it's not really a tutorial, she just shows you how she does it. I'm assuming there's other ways of doing it, but she shows you how she does it. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I made it right along with her, and I thoroughly enjoyed the knitter natter, the chatting that she did. I loved it. You know what? I love listening to people talk. So I made 2 of those. You might see more of these later. But they're just using scraps, and very little scraps. Actually, these are the same size hook, just different different thicknesses of yarn. This was a more of a number 5 and this was a 4. So just scraps. So anyway, thoroughly enjoyed that. That too was made before I left. While I was gone, I made, so what got me on a bag kick? So you know that I helped Billy put down her pattern. Have to excuse me. Down on paper, and I kind of started liking the kitchen cotton and whatnot, but then shortly after I finished that bag, Nicole at DRC Creations issued out a bag pattern, and I'm like, I love Nicole, so I had to get it. But to be honest with you, I wasn't in a frame of mind to make bags until Crystal at Ricola Crochet decided to have a bag cal. I'm like, wow, now I gotta make it. So she was one of the testers for this. I made the DRC bag, and it is a paid for, oh sorry, this was in a bag. It's DRC market bag. And all I did was I used one of the cotton cakes. I do not have it with me, so I can't tell you what color, but they don't have a lot of colors. You can't miss it. And yeah, so I made, and it is a square bottom bag. And of course I made a mistake. So as you can see, there's the square. So when I went to go start the handles, I counted, but the handles are kind of like kitty corner to the base. Should pay more attention. But anyway, I love it. I love this bag. Yeah, it's awesome. Sorry, I have some stuff inside just to fill it out. And I did not do any color controlling because I was afraid I was gonna run out of yarn. But yeah, so it's a great bag. This, I have to take some photos and enter Crystal's cal. I'll leave the information for Crystal's channel and her cal down below. Any kind of bags are accepted. Then I got on a bag kick. Really want to enter her cal. I found this bag, and it's called Openwork Crochet Shoulder Bag. And I found it on Make and Do Crew. So it was a collaboration between a Crocheted Simplicity and I guess her name's Jennifer, and Jess at Make and Do Crew. So the pattern is free on Jess's blog, Make and Do Crew, and I'll leave the link for that. But you absolutely, so the pattern, it comes with the pattern and pictures, photo, like tutorial. But if you want the PDF will include the chart. And I was tempted to do the chart, but I decided not to. But I made the bag. Look at that. Is that not adorable? It reminds me of daisies. Again, I have something inside just to fill it out. Now, I did have to make a mistake, or not a mistake, I had to make an alteration because this part up here, I had to omit a few rows of single crochet because I was running out of yarn. I had that much left. So, and I saw that happening, so I just omitted a few rows at the top so that I would have enough for the handles. And yes, is this not the cutest thing ever? So cute. Now, also the construction of this is very different than most bags. So she boxes the bottoms. You see that? So you seam it like, and I guess you could leave it just seamed at the bottom, but she gets you to fold over the corner and seam that, so then when you turn it inside out, you have, oh, come on, you have a box bottom. You see that? Sorry, it's white, it's kind of hard to see, but anyway, I think it's adorable. And she also tells you to add a tassel, which I don't, but I love this one. Now, I don't know how to make them pretty. Am I supposed to, this is kitchen cotton. Am I supposed to block this to make it look pretty? Because like if you take a look at her picture, it looks so pretty. Mine kind of looks, I mean, it looks pretty, but it looks wrinkled. So I don't know, do you block stuff like this? I mean, it is just a market bag or beach bag or something. I think it's adorable. I think it's really, really cute. I really like it a lot. Really easy to follow. She gives you all the numbers and, you know, the stitch counts and everything. Really easy to follow. Fun to make. It took me a little while because it is kitchen cotton and my hand was starting to hurt. But, you know, like I said, really easy. And I don't know, do you need the chart? I'm not sure. I guess a chart would have been easier. You wouldn't have had to. But I didn't find it difficult at all. So maybe not. But the option is there if you wanted to pay for the PDF version. And you get the chart too. So, and I'm not sure, maybe even a tutorial. I'm not sure. But anyway, that is adorable. So now I gotta figure out a way to take pretty pictures of this and submit them both in Crystal's cowl. Anyway, that's all I have, and I'm already, whoa, way too long, 26 minutes. I am sorry. Just wanted to remind you that we are still having our cowl. That will be over May 31st, the end of May 31st. The winners will be picked randomly on June 1st, and it's a wearable cowl. So it's called the sprawl cowl, spring shawl, sprawl cowl, any kind of wearables. So not bags. Now, there's a little fine line there. People say they wear their bags, but you really don't. Something that you wear. What else? And I will talk about the prizes as it gets closer because I'm still waiting for some. And what else? Oh, you can also, we're doing it also on Instagram. So it's, the hashtag is #SprawlCal. There will be a prize drawn from the Instagram thread as well. And don't forget, I am coming back on Tuesday to draw 2 winners for the Random Acts of Kindness draw that I'm having right now. So anyway, I hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend. We are having a long weekend here, and I came home and my husband left. He went fishing. I didn't want to go fishing because it didn't look like it was going to be nice weather. So I'm staying home and I'm crocheting and knitting. Anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful, or is having a wonderful weekend, and we will talk soon.